fam, welcome back to our channel. I'm Debbie.
I'm Darren.
And we have the luscious
Bonnie. Bonita.
Now then. What? What you got?
You got something, have you?
Alright, I'll tell them, but in a second, okay? Now then, guys. Doing things a little differently today. For one thing, we can't find the Sherlock book that had the question in, but as nobody had a go at it,
no one had a go at it.
Darren,
I forgot to have a go at it as well. There you go.
we sort of figured that, you know, fair dues. So that's fine. We're going to do a Sherlock question today, but one from an easier book because it's giving us a headache.
Yep.
And, of course, we got the lovely anagrams. Now then, Bonnie's left me her notes, so what we're going to do first is pop her back to bed with some fruit to go with her croissant that she had, and then I'll tell you about some more bits, but it will seem seconds. So, right guys, so as I said, Bonnie's left us a little note, but we're going to leave that a little bit longer because I get the feeling there's been hamsters going on. It's folded over and she recycles too because basically I used this side for other bits and she decided to use the other side. So she's very thoughtful. So as usual, actually, I'm going to start you off for our word for the day.
Yep.
Because
we would normally have the answer to the Sherlock one, but as we can't find the book and no one did it anyway and I didn't do it, there you go.
And it was ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Right, as you know, arm sate was a hole in which you put your arm through on a jumper or a shirt.
Yep.
Which was last week's. This week's is actually, that's quite fitting considering.
Bonnet.
Bonnet, the cap on a fire hydrant.
All right.
No, I did not know that.
No.
But as Bonnie's just been out, you know.
Yeah, the bonnet is a cap on a fire hydrant. It's also a bonnet with the hat as well.
Yes, it is. But yes. Anyway, what I will say is we've got several surprises, or more to the point, the hamsters have got several surprises. Some of them you may have heard a touch on, other ones not so much. So we're going to start next with Bonnie's note. Now then, it says, don't forget Jess Pagan. And I know why she chose to mention about that. Because Jess Pagan is a lovely lady that has a Etsy shop. And she contacted us. And basically she's created a world called Pumpkin Hollow. Hence why Bonnie sees pumpkins as being her butt, basically. She's, you know, if she rolls herself over, she looks a bit like a pumpkin. Now then, this lovely lady, Jess, she contacted us and she was very tentative at first, bless her. Yeah. And she asked whether we would mind reviewing one of her boxes if she sent it to us. She
does a quarterly box.
Yeah, it is quarterly, so this one will be on Etsy shop. January to March.
Along with lots of other things on our Etsy shop.
Seriously, guys, what we're holding back a little bit at the moment because once the box arrives, we're going to go all out and explain everything because, you know, she describes the stuff as Gothic Victorian.
At the moment, one, isn't it?
Sort of thing. And I love the fact that she's created her own world. We'll tell you a little bit more about that, obviously, as things go on, but I wanted to give you a heads up. So, yeah.
So that will be coming soon.
That will be coming soon because she was posting it off either yesterday or today, wasn't it?
She was going to send it off today, but it depends if she gets it or not. So,
that's a really exciting bit. I love new boxes. I love to experience new boxes. And, yeah, really, really feel blessed.
Yeah.
And very, very touched, actually. And she does. She seems absolutely lovely. She sent. We asked lots of questions, and she sent back us a load of information.
Oh, lots and lots and lots of information.
And it was lovely. It really was lovely. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. Now then, so that's Bonnie's note.
All right, we go for Sherlock.
We go for Sherlock, and then we'll see what Michelle's got to say for herself.
Right, this one is A Difficult Age. Logic is paramount, Watson. Sherlock Holmes was in a thoughtful mood, pacing slowly up and down the length of the sitting room, pipe firmly in hand. The better able you are to pick apart a problem in your mind and evaluate all the ramifications it encompasses, the stronger will be your deductive reasoning. Of course, I said. So then let us say that I know of a particular fellow. Today is a singular occasion. For 2 days ago he was 25 years of age, but next year he'll be 28. How is such a thing possible? Yes, I do know that. Yeah.
No, I'm going to have to read that to myself, that one, I think.
Yes.
So I'm not even putting a guess in there. Right, now then. Done Sherlock. So, I'm going to cover the anagrams next, if that's all right.
Yep.
So
anagrams we had...
Hang on. No.
Oh, no.
No.
I would say anagrams we had... 2 answers. 2 lots of answers.
Right, he jumped on me for this one last time. Right, so Lunar Cod, I believe, is cauldron.
Yep.
And Fewer Owl, I believe, is werewolf.
Yep.
To be honest, I don't really see how they can be anything else.
No.
So, you know.
Yeah. Leanne Miller and Lolly Wayne both said the same.
Good. Well, that's as good as a...
Yeah, so it's
isn't it?
Yeah, so it's...
Plus you did, to be fair, so...
Yeah. That was only through the questions. The answer questions bits, wasn't it?
Right.
Yes.
I can hear a Mish calling.
Can you?
I can. Hello, lovelies. As you can see, my headband's off. I am reading a book, and this is in the middle of the Friday Sherlock Fest.
Yeah.
We forgot about the anagrams, and I'm addicted to this book, so I didn't even want to move my thumb.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll show you what book it is at the moment.
It's number 7.
You haven't seen the book all yet.
Right, it's number 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So it's... if
Not sleek. Be careful opening the cupboard.
Yeah.
And unused hat hoe.
Who hasn't got a unused hat hoe?
A spooky place to spend the night.
Ooh.
2 words. No. All right.
So, guys, without further ado, I will let you join us in the past when we recorded Sherlock. Bye.
Yeah. What she told you?
Well.
Oh.
Did you copy your sister and use her bit of paper? What have you got to tell them? Well, first of all, you can say to them, Mummy groomed me this morning, and I just sat there until I realised that one side was done, so I turned round for her to groom me on the other side. But basically, I just sort of numb her fur. And her ears. Yeah, I know. Right, Mama.
Hello, fans.
Did you say? Mama, Phoenix and Raven.
Yeah.
That's my pill pot. That's the plate. It's alright, she's chewing on things. She probably means she's hungry. Do you want to go back to your cage for your breakfast? Right. As you notice, things haven't exactly gone to plan with the hamsters because normally they hang around in front of the camera and tart themselves. Mishka, however, is pretty good. She does have her own way of telling me, and she will gently chew on things like the plate and the not hard, but just a little bit, and then she sits there and looks at me. I'm not that boring, Terry. And she's in there currently eating a little bit of croissant I gave her, and it is only a titchy bit. Yeah. But she was hungry. But she did leave us the note. Mama, Phoenix and Raven. Now, again, this is a very, very new company.
Yeah.
They're going to be sending us their first books. I think we said to you briefly about this, but we wanted to refresh, or rather, Mishka wanted to refresh because
so they've got.
She thinks that everything is being sent for her, basically.
Yeah, so pagan books they've got coming. It's a monthly one.
And we're really excited and really honoured as well that they want us to review their first ever box.
Yeah, so they've got something they're waiting for.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to tell you.
No.
Like something they're waiting for. Once they've done that, they're going to send it out.
I mean, don't get us wrong, we don't actually know. We know in a very varied term what they're waiting for, but not really, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what it is. We don't know what it is, but we know the thing it is. Yeah.
And that's if we're right, which we usually aren't. So,
yeah.
But no, so it's an update on that. It is happening, but there's been a slight delay.
Yeah.
And
it's still only start of February.
Yes,
so,
this is it.
So it in time for you to get your.
It's still in with their working time frame. It's just obviously. Sorry, I'm a bit froggy.
It's the Ostrobox, or Ostrobox, or however you want to say it.
I think Ostra sounds right, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it basically means that they've got everything prepped and everything coming. And the only reason I'm saying it's delayed, it's sort of like it's only slightly delayed for us, but it isn't really because they're not going to be going out for sale until then.
Yep.
But honestly, I mean, I feel really blessed. I mean, they came to us first, and then we had Jess Pagan come to it almost within a week.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we love you.
You know, we really feel quite blessed. There's no other word for it. Extremely lucky. Humbled, yeah. Plus, it's really nice meeting or, chatting with via, Messenger and so on, with like-minded people. As I said before, with my anxiety, I find the prospect of phone can be a little bit daunting for me sometimes.
Yeah.
In fact, both my mother and my mother-in-law know that sometimes I just can't cope with the phone full stop. So, it swings and roundabouts. But this I've got more confident with because obviously you guys have been so lovely. And what Mama doesn't want to show off her children,
That's right.
Right.
So, now you'll have your Black Cat one.
And Evil Eyes. So,
what have we got today?
We've got one more. Now then, just to say, there is another hamster out at the moment.
There is.
Our old earbud, and I get the feeling that he'll want to tell us something as well. Just saying. First of all, it's actually called the Evil Eye, this bit.
Yeah.
Belief in power of the evil eye dates back to the earliest civilizations, and reference to it can be found aplenty in the writings of ancient Greek and Roman poets and philosophers, including Aristophanes, Plutarch, and Pliny the Elder. I like that. But put simply, it refers to the belief that those who possess the evil eye, sometimes described as a jealous spirit, can put a curse on others, usually unintentionally, by gazing at them enviously. The evil eye is usually developed in the person by coveting of good fortune of another. Biblical references also exist. Proverbs 23:6 reads, "Eat thou not the bread of him, and hath the evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meat." Sounds a bit rude, doesn't it?
A lot of it does.
Yeah. The effects of the curse vary slightly between cultures, but the late American professor of folklore and evil eye expert Alan Duns? Don't know. Wrote that while belief in its powers spread throughout the Middle East, Africa and Europe, especially the Mediterranean region, with many varied in methods to use to avert it. The feared effects of being given the evil eye tended to be similar. Disease related to dehydration, such as vomiting, wasting, or shrivelling, sometimes resulting in death. I don't think I've ever been shrivelled. Don't know. Young children are believed to be at the greatest risk of evil eye, perhaps since their beauty and innocence is most likely to attract an envious glance. Praising the appearance of a child is also believed to attract the evil eye, so in many countries where belief in the curse is strong, it is customary to touch a child immediately after praising it in order to remove the curse. All right. In Bangladesh, mothers of young women who are particularly likely to attract the envy of others through their beauty put a black coal mark behind their daughter's ear to counter ill effects. In the Middle East, in some Mediterranean countries, glass amulets showing a blue eye are worn on jewellery or hung over doorways to repel the eye's power. Blue eyes are regarded as evil in these countries because they aren't usually found within the local population.
No, because it'd be brown, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's right. And the belief is likely to have been underlined by prosperity of blue-eyed tourists to these areas of failing to recognise that photographing or cooing over children is frowned upon. Didn't know that. Jewish tradition protects children from the eye by tying a piece of red string around their wrist. In Italy, where the curse is also believed to affect men and cause impotence, a hand gesture that uses the finger as horn uses to counter it. These days, such preventative measures are usually judged to be effective, though in past times the prevalence of disease caused dehydration in young children meant that many deaths were put down to the influence of the evil eye. It's amazing, really, isn't it? I mean, I've got
the whole bit that put it away is like that.
so I've got the and I'd recommend this to anybody, but I've got the Casualty 1900 series, and one of the things, I mean, a normal bout of vomiting and diarrhea in this day and age, people don't die from it, children don't die from it, but masses died, and of course it spread like wildfire, like viruses and bugs do, especially when they're practically living on top of each other and they keep trying to give them this milky porridge to try and nourish them, whereas normal water and plain basically bits would actually nourish. But yeah, I mean, but no, seriously guys, if you haven't seen the Casualty 1900s ones, they're really good. They're based on real stories or real people from the 1900s.
History,
basically. Yeah,
it's from
it's the London hospital
writings, isn't it?
And I
from
mean,
bits
that
that
was
actually
before,
diaries and bits that they'd actually written out.
and so the London hospital, which is, I can't remember what it is now, but it was one of the first ones, and it was basically financed by the rich to help with the poor, basically, because it's still in a time when people had to pay for the doctor and whatnot.
It was before the NHS.
Yeah, that's right.
Too later.
And they also closed their doors, so if you didn't get seen within the allotted space of time, at 8 o'clock, I think it was, in the evening, you were out. And it wouldn't reopen again until, I think it was 8 in the morning. But nurses weren't allowed to marry. I mean, there was so much to... History is absolutely fascinating to me. Not so much like... people history, if you know what I mean. Actually, how people used to live and were. But yeah. Anyway, I can hear a squawkling, walkling.
Oh, do you want that? Or do you want questions first?
Yes, we'll have questions first.
Because he's right over there. I can hear him out in the kitchen.
It's amazing, really. The other 2 times when I said to them, you can have an order of, when you come out and tell them. And the girls got it right away, but poor old Earbud, bless him, he came running forward eagerly each time, and now he's he's just heard his name, so he's on his way back. Here we go, pelting along.
Yeah. Only got one question this time. We had a bit from Leanne saying, she's still here. She's been planning moving house.
Oh, welcome back, honey, and I do not envy you that. I mean, I know we have to move. We really do, because it's not suitable for my mobility here.
Bloody hell, it's going to be dreadful to move. We've got so much stuff. So
we're not exactly minimalists, put it that way. I mean, in actual fact, I think this would drive a minimalist mad.
Yeah, so we've got 4 bloody grubby cupboards which have got stuff piled in as well.
I know.
But yes, the question from Lolly Wayne: if you could go anywhere in the world, visit any attraction, historical place, and so on, where would it be and why? I know you'll have more than one. One of hers is Salem, Massachusetts. I just have this pull to visit. I think it would be amazing. Salem, Massachusetts doesn't appeal to me much. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be.
It's going to be much emotion.
It's going to be Americanized a lot. It's going to be. It's going to be commercial, very commercial. I have a feeling.
Yeah,
because they weren't actually burnt there, were they? They were hung in Salem, Massachusetts, weren't they?
There were no burnings in Salem, Massachusetts. No.
As they don't, unlike they show on the TV, because they show her burnt there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
burnt in Europe.
Actually.
So burnt in Europe about 200-300 years before that.
There was a so-called witch hung in Hove, actually. Yeah, so she.
Actually.
Yeah. So there was a tree near a pub called Nantuck's, and it was actually Nantuck that got hanged.
Yeah, that wasn't Nantuck for long, was it?
No, it wasn't.
The Wicken.
It was brilliant.
That's someone killed in the Wicken, is he anyway?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But the pub itself, that was amazing. When it was Nantuck's, it was amazing. They had cocktails for the 7 deadly sins. Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly, you've never tasted more amazing.
It was done as like a gothic horror sort of place.
Oh, it was
they had several different places around the country. They went bust, I think, in the end.
Me and my sister-in-law. This was before I met Darren.
The one in Brighton was done like a mad scientist sort of place. You had all potion bits and all things, and when you went into the toilets, you would have every now and again you would have noises like of footsteps or wolves howling and stuff like that. And it got quiet for ages, and all of a sudden you just get some noise come out. It was quite wicked.
It also had that sort of gothic feel to it as well. Yeah. I don't know how else to explain it.
Like Victor Frankenstein sort of bit, the old Frankenstein sort of bit.
I mean, it was an amazing pub, but like anything, you see, unfortunately, it didn't conform to normality and got changed into something else that was relatively genetic, unfortunately.
They had ones in London, they had one in Scotland and bits like that.
Yeah, I think they say they were still going, but you know.
No, I think they've all shut down now.
Have they?
The Erie Pub Company, it was.
Yeah.
I don't think they're still going.
That is a shame, because it's so nice to get something that's different.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just that, you know, it was a nice experience in there. It was just, but yeah. Where would I want to go? We did dream of doing Route 66 and going back to Florida again, where we had our honeymoon, especially since they've got the Harry Potter world there. That side I'd definitely still like to do. And it isn't like, say, Route 66, but it's the little towns and communities that interest me. More so than the big built-up areas, because as you know, I'm not a huge fan of crowds and crowds of people. But yeah, that being said, I mean, I really would like to go and see like the Harry Potter one. Plus, there was a Titanic experience that we didn't do. But we can't go back to the hotel that we actually had on our honeymoon. It was an amazing hotel, but it's now a retail estate, which is a shame. It is a shame. But no, I mean, you get all different bits and bobs. Anyway, where would I want to go over here? Now, I want to go everywhere in England. I haven't been to Ireland. I like Wales. I love Scotland. Basically, I would love to be in the position to travel around and visit amazing places and share it with you guys. That is the dream, but it's not practical at the moment at all. For one thing, money stops us, and for another thing, I'm still under strict instructions as far as what I'm allowed to do and so on. So, you know, it is what it is. But no, I mean, realistically, I've got plenty of places that I want to go for like day outs. We love Longleat. Cornwall and Devon I love. Flambards in Cornwall's amazing. And there's the Witch Museum in Boscastle. And Boscastle has got to be one of the most beautiful villages I've seen. I love it there. I love the feel of it.
But it's not going to be very wheelchair friendly.
Yeah, unfortunately, most
steep.
of it is on a steep hill.
Yeah.
And it was actually after visiting like the Witch Museum there and Boscastle itself, and seeing the kids, because this was, you know, it was sort of like our dream in some ways. You know, you had the little school kids out at a local school, and they were having a rubber duck race along the waterway there, you know.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what a lovely place to bring up children.
Yeah, because we went there, we went to Tadgel as well, didn't we? So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I do. I have a real soft spot for Cornwall. There's a wicked place as well that's a mining place, and you can go in this. You go in this mining car almost, to be perfectly honest, like a train sort of thing. So it's all caged round. And it takes you underneath and through all the... it's fabulous. I can't remember what that's called, strangely enough.
Don't know. It doesn't ring any bells.
Oh, it's something Key, because I always called it Quay.
Oh, right. Don't know.
I can't remember.
Wellham Quay, there is. But I don't know what that is.
Don't know. You went there. I'm sure you did.
Don't know. Don't ring any bells.
But no, I mean, it was wonderful, and it's sort of one of those places that's very much childhood memories. And as I said, Flambards I love, because again, it's like going back into history, and they've got a walk bit through what it would be like to walk through the Blitz a little bit. I mean, obviously you haven't got the real fright of bombs landing on you, but it is still quite compelling, if you know what I mean. It's you know,
it's a village, or it's a high street, wasn't it? That was moved with all the stock because they found it.
Yes, they
moved it all. They moved all these shops with the stock in it.
No, it was the chemist shop. It had been buried so deep down, but everything was in place, and they moved it brick by brick, and everything in it.
Yeah.
And it's part of their, because you get walk around the streets a bit, so you've got like blacksmiths and bits like that. So you've got all different things from different eras, not to mention the cars and the planes, and you know, you can even get on a Concorde sort of thing to have a look and things. I mean, it is amazing. It really is. If that is your cup of tea, it is absolutely amazing. And not only that, it actually shows what nurseries would look like, or what homes were like, and things like that. I mean, we've got somewhere that does the houses and that, not that far from us, really. What is it called? Do you remember?
It's closed down, I think.
Oh, is it? I thought it
was
was still going.
One in Bexhill still.
No, not that. Not
No.
that. No, I'm talking about the one with all the houses.
Oh, Weald and Downland.
Weald and Downland Museum. I'd recommend that to anybody as well. Plus, I'd like to go back to Fishbourne Villas again, which has got the.
Oh, I did that so many times at
Plus,
school.
I love toy museums.
Did that so many times at school. Fishbourne Villas, Fishbourne Roman Villas, and
There's a toy museum in Hove.
Yes.
And they used to have another one in Hove, but I can't remember what it was called. But no, I like history.
Got those. So there's loads of bits we want to go and see around in this country. I was fortunate enough when I was younger, with Mum and Dad, I went around a lot of different countries.
Yeah,
on
see,
holidays.
I hadn't been abroad until I was 19,
Well, I've
I
done
think.
different bits like Tunisia, and you wouldn't do that again. Tunisia.
Well, no, because you did a lot of places
Cyprus
before they
and
became
things like-
majorly
Yeah,
commercialised.
so Waterwood, it didn't have much on it. It's got a motorway now. It's strange, it's only 14 miles long. But yeah, Malta, Mallorca, we did like that. We did all different little places.
I'd like to do Amsterdam and Rotterdam and those sort of places again. Darren hasn't been to Amsterdam.
No. The Netherlands.
It's so pretty.
See the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah, I've got a soft spot for Alaska as well. I blame it on men and trees.
Alaska's a long way away.
I know. I
America.
don't think I'd actually go there. But the simple reason is, a lot of the areas you get to, you need to go on those small
Little
planes.
planes. Yeah.
And I just don't think I could. No, I just don't think I'd never be able to helicopter anywhere either. That's just no, absolutely not. I've got no problem with big planes, but when it comes to,
I'd love to go to Canada.
Oh, Canada looks amazing, and the people seem so nice as well. But then again, saying that, I mean, all the Americans we met have been very nice as well. So
yeah, that's right.
You know, I think we're just quite fortunate in. I don't think it really matters where you're from as long as you're a decent person.
Americans we saw, they a lot of them would, because we smoked at the time anyway. So
yeah.
So we would go to like the separate bits there, and you'd get smoky ones there, and a lot of them would talk to you just to hear your accent. Hear you talk back to them.
Mind you, the funniest one was the one that asked us, "What would you call that?"
The lizard. We were going through a park.
Yeah.
We're going through. I think
it was one of the Disney ones. I think.
Yeah, it was actually an animal park, but it wasn't a thing.
No, it was just on a tree.
It was a tree in the middle.
Sort of
there was a little lizard.
And of course, we
look at him.
He was gorgeous.
And this American guy said, "Do you know what that's called?" I said, "Well, do you know what that is?" And I said, "Well, some sort of gecko, I suppose," thinking he's going to be exact. And he said, "Oh, well, here we call them lizards." Oh, yeah. You know what a lizard is, yeah. But no, he was very nice.
Yeah, he was lovely. He really was. And I mean, you sort of like think it's amazing how actually, I mean, that doesn't say it's all Americans by any means any more than us being English or all English. No. It's sort of everybody is different, and that's what I love is when you meet the different personalities and that. But
so I'd like in America. I'd like to go.
Not nastily.
So in America, I'd like to go around like the little villages and the little towns
and bits and that. Yeah.
I say cities don't really. I mean, a city in America is pretty well going to be like a city over here.
Oh, I mean,
you're going to get. Say New York is going to be like. It's going to be like a London. On speed.
Yeah.
I don't know London much it is.
So I'd love to go to the big stores and that, like Macy's, and especially around Christmas time, because the Christmas lights and that would be amazing. But there's just too many people. I would never cope with it.
Yeah. Like to Germany at Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, like
and
do
Christmas.
The Christmas markets. Yeah.
And you get Austria ones and bits like that.
I mean, it's strange. We love lots of places. One of the places I used to love to go was Cheddar Gorge in around by Bristol, and I loved that. But we went when I was only the last time we went, you were slightly.
You weren't too bad.
I wasn't too bad, but I wasn't that mobile.
Yeah.
I was more
For
mobile
your
by far than I
30th
was.
birthday, wasn't it?
I mean, I couldn't do certain bits then.
Yeah.
And I pushed myself to do other bits I probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But I'm pleased I did now. But it did make me realise there'd be no point in me going back, because that'd be like literally offering, I don't know, a hamster a nibble and not letting him eat it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not fair. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, with the anxiety anyway, I tend to look up places so I know exactly what's where. I know where the exits are, where the toilets are and things like that, basically to try and take away any angst, if you like.
Yeah.
But no, we have, I mean, there is so many places.
Yeah, so many places.
So I'd love to go to Ireland. I've never been to Ireland.
I spent a few hours there.
That isn't really helpful, is it?
We went to Dublin. Me and a friend of mine, he won tickets to meet group Corrosion of Conformity, who were supporting Metallica. And like we got picked up. We went to London, met the representative from Sony Records. Got flown first class over to Dublin, taken to the hotel, dropped our bits off. Then she took us down to the place, which was the Point in Dublin. Got taken in there. We watched Corrosion of Conformity play. Then we started to watch Metallica, and then we got taken out from there, and then went to meet Corrosion of Conformity. Got given lots of free stuff and signed bits and stuff like that. Met them, and then they said you got to make it back for the destruction scene. And I was like, we went back out to the bit and watched it, and everything. If you've ever seen it, everything collapses. It was done from like the Black Album, and it had snake bits going up by both sides. And it started off, you had a light flashing, and you could see, and it went off on one of the bits, and like the bloke went up on a rigging. It's just going on while they're still playing. You think, yeah, it's just going like that. And he's up there, and it explodes round by him, and he swings off and swings out and goes down like that, and they drop him down, and people run over to him to check him, and you go, what's going on? Like that. And then other things explode. Bloke runs across the stage on fire. And everything collapsed down. And they lowered lots of lights down afterwards. They're like massive ones used to get in garages. Ones like that. And did it. They obviously were lit properly, but they did it so it looked like it was lit by that because the electrics weren't working properly.
Oh, God.
But then after that, we went back to the hotel, and then in the morning we went on the plane, first class, back to London, went back to Sony Records, and she gave us all these different bits from Sony Records, and then we went back.
Nice prize.
Yeah. But going on the Erie Pub Company, there are 2 left.
Oh, good. I am pleased. There's one in Scotland left.
One of them in Scotland is left.
Yeah.
You've got one in Nottingham. You want to go to Nottingham anyway?
I want to go to Nottingham. They've got an ancient tree there.
They've got Pit and the Pendulum is there, which was Poe, I think. Background Poe. And one in Scotland is...
Yeah, we'll never be able to do Edinburgh Zoo again, unfortunately.
Slains Castle. Slains Castle?
I want to go to Scotland again anyway, because I absolutely love my Scottish relatives. I adore them.
That's in Aberdeen. Yeah. But they're the only 2 that actually show up on their website now. The Erie Pub Company.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, yeah. I love holidaying in England because there's so many places to see, and so many things to do, really, and things like that. There isn't as much on certain things that I used to do when I was younger. They don't exist anymore, and things like that. The Isle of Wight I'd like to go to again. Yeah, I really love the Isle of Wight. The thing is, we're both eclectic, and we do like lots of different things. We like lots of different places, but at the same time, we're not exact. We know we're not traditional. We know we don't necessarily follow the normal route. But
well, a lot of you lot probably don't either.
I mean, this is it. I mean, say I'm not afraid to turn around and say yes, I'm different, because at the end of the day, I think people worry too much about conforming to what is considered normal, and it's not healthy. No. So be yourselves, basically.
Yeah.
Right, now then, I know you're all waiting for this last message.
Yes. He's hanging around.
He is hanging around. He keeps darting around down there. So I will let Darren go and get him, and we will find out what Earbud has to say.
Oi, Euricus. Here, Earbud.
Well, he chucked that out, and then he just sort of sniffed and licked things.
He's lost interest.
Right, let's see what he's got. Now, he's got the biggest surprise of all. Oh, Earbud.
What? Big surprise. Wasn't listening. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Your sister's managed to remember. You scratching
so we got
too much.
So we got something else coming up, but
and it's big.
It's big, but we don't know what it is.
We can't tell you because he hasn't reminded us what it is.
No, so
I know it's really mean, isn't it, taunting you like that? But you have had a reminder about the lovely Phoenix and Raven, and you've now been told about Jess Pagan.
Yeah,
a little bit, not too much, because we want to tantalise those taste buds.
And we know there's something else.
And it's a huge thing, and we are incredibly excited.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because if he can't be bothered to listen,
no,
we're just not, I mean, look, he's in my pen dispenser now. Now he's looking at back scratcher. Yeah. You can see we pretty much let them do what they want, as long as they can't hurt themselves. It's not a problem. But yeah, so
go much further with hurt himself, because he's going to drop about 3 foot on the ground.
What do you say? You've let yourself down. You've let me down. You've let your father down.
You let your fans down. No, you've never let your fans down. Anyway,
right, guys, we're gonna stop it there. I have actually written down some farm stories as and when I remember them. So we will go through them, but because Earbud is escaping again because he wants to try and get his brother to get up.
Yeah.
We will leave it there. But as I said, got 2 boxes that we're going to be reviewing.
Along with the other bits, because the other ones are coming.
Huge surprise.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So, have a think. Please do ask more questions. Or, I mean, if you can't think of anything, it's not a problem. I've got plenty of stories, but I don't care how random they are. If you want to know our favourite cartoon characters, if you want to know...
Penguins have knees. Yes, they do.
They do, yes.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen that picture of the owl where it...
Yeah, we put that on before, didn't we? Over Christmas.
That was brilliant, that was. Anyway, we've got to go and rescue Earbud now and stop him from waking his brother up.
Yeah.
So be safe, be happy, be different. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.